Good morning, folks. A little later, a lot later than I would have liked to have started, but slept too much for a change. Just showing you a little of the surroundings where I was camped last night. Quite a nice area, actually. There's just not a great deal of like big open vistas like I've been used to the last 4 weeks or so. Anyway, I am all packed up. I just want to get off this mountain, to be honest. Muir Pass, which I'm on now, is reportedly the last difficult pass in the Sierras. So once I'm up and over this, it's not all plain sailing, but the others are a lot easier and should have a lot less snow on them as well. This is probably the one with the most amount of snow. I've got about a 2-mile snow traverse to get up. Then once I'm going down the other side, I think it's about a 3-mile snow traverse to get down. So hopefully it'll remain quite hard. A lot of people have said there's a very good boot track laid in as well, so that'll help. One thing to watch, apparently there is a lot of flowing water underneath the snow. So with it melting so quickly, might be difficult, potential to fall through the snow into a river. We don't want that. On a side note, my shoes were in my tent last night. When I got here, they were obviously slightly wet. This morning, they were frozen. So I put on frozen shoes this morning. That was really nice. Anyway, I've had my breakfast, but I've not had any coffee yet. I intend to get up and over this and then find somewhere to sit and make a cup of coffee when I've done. Something to look forward to. See you up there, folks. I think this is called Helen Lake. I may be mistaken. Sections of it still frozen over and still frozen solid. A lot of it is water now. I've got my waterproof trousers on for a bit of warmth and protection from the wind, but they're actually like burning my legs. I'm sweating so much. So I lied to you before when I said that that was Helen Lake. It wasn't. This here is Helen Lake. It's a lot bigger and a lot icier as well. It's like something you imagine you would see at the Arctic. It's not been that steep a climb. It's just hard work in the snow, even though it is still solid. I'll have to put you away because I need both hands to balance again, sorry. Well, that's where I've just come from. Just climbed up. This has been the steepest part, this last section. Basically kind of just go straight up and then come off slightly to a side. Look at these cool patterns in the snow. Really awesome. This makes a really cool picture. But the good news is it's about 8 minutes past 7 and that little structure there is the Muir shelter, which marks the top of the pass. So we are almost there. Do you know what? I can't remember. I think I saw you pass me maybe about 10 minutes before I got packed up. Yeah.
Which one is it?
It's the Pocket 3. There we go, this is inside the Muir shelter. Fireplace, antlers, blocked up fireplace. There you go, John Muir Memorial Shelter. Plaque there. It's a really cool beehive structure actually. When you look up at the ceiling. Very echoey. Yeah, looks like there's a couple of books to sign, or a book to sign. There we go, signed the book. And I've just seen Old Spice was here a day before me. Ha! Very nice. So, idiot that I am, have been filming in low light mode all the way up. So if the footage looks a bit wonky, sorry about that, but I certainly aren't going to go back down and come back up and refilm it. So you can see here, we've got another astounding view. That's a lady, I think her name was Trooper from Indiana. She was admiring the Pocket 3 camera. Saw me filming with it. A couple of frozen lakes, a lot of snow to negotiate yet, but it looks a lot easier, than what I've just done, because it's mostly downhill. It's a beautiful view though. Really, really nice. Well, that is it, folks. The last of the quote bad passes, unquote. Just been talking to a guy at the top who was camped near me last night, or I was camped near him last night. He was echoing the same thing that I'd read on the app last night, the comments that the next couple of passes, Selden is the next one. That's actually after Muir Trail Ranch, but Selden Pass, there's not a great deal of snow, and it's not as high elevation as these passes we've been doing recently. It's supposed to be quite easy, and then there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, after Selden, and that's very similar as well. Not a great deal of snow, and it's supposed to be pretty easy walking up and down. So that is really, really good news. In my mind, I've kind of broken the back of the Sierras, if you will. I hope the most difficult part is out of the way. And under my belt, so to speak. Oh, but this is pretty fine scenery. Well, strangely enough, it's 8:42 and I'm just past mile 8:42. So I bet I couldn't do that again. This is an area called Evolution Basin. All I can say about it is it's very pretty, and the snow is starting to thin out as well. I think I'm approaching, or I've just passed, there's a Wonder Lake somewhere around here. I think I may have just passed it, but that was where people were saying that the snow started to thin out. I think basically after a few more minutes, I'll maybe get to the top of this overlook and have a look down into the basin, see if there's any snow down there. If there isn't, then the spikes are coming off. Had quite a bit of pain on the balls of my feet yesterday, and I'm putting that down to wearing the spikes on Mather Pass in the morning. They kind of, when you put them on, it's like a rubber cage that you stretch over your shoe, and then it's got like metal spikes on the bottom of it, and there's kind of 4 metal spikes that go over the front of your shoe and 4 metal spikes that cover the heel of your shoe. There's no spikes in the centre, not on the ones I've got anyway. Let's check that. Yeah, there's actually more than 4 spikes at the front. There's maybe about 6 or 8. But what that means is every time you put your foot down on ground that isn't snow, you can feel the spikes pressing up into your foot when you're wearing trail running shoes. Probably very different with boots with thicker soles, but trail running shoes, you do feel quite a bit of feedback from them, especially walking on solid ground. It's even as bad when the snow's hard as well, actually, because obviously there's no give in the snow, so it just pushes back against your foot. But are we ready for a look? It's probably going to be a bit of a damp squib, but we'll have a look over this little ridge together and see what awaits us. A pretty phenomenal looking mountain range for one. That looks pretty intimidating, does that? Oh no, there's a bit more snow yet. Although, seems to be down near the stream or the river to the right. Doesn't seem to be masses of it on the trail. Ooh, this looks promising. Do you know what? Yesterday I kept saying I was going to stop somewhere nice and have an easy day, and I obviously didn't do it. But I'm actually really, really looking forward to it today. That's just what I want to do. I'm happy to hike another 8 or 10 miles or so, and just find somewhere out of the way, just where I can sit and relax. I've only come a short distance since the last clip. I'm now dropping down to Sapphire Lake, which looks very pretty indeed. There's this lake, and then there's one more after it, and then from what I can see on the app, there's no more lakes until after Muir Trail Ranch. So maybe, even though it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, I might be stopping shortly at one of these lakes. That one looks beautiful down there. There's no actual tent sites marked on the app on the side of it, but I'm sure somebody has camped down there before. And then the next lake, there is a tent site marked at the head of it. It's a 5 tent site. Comments say that it's very beautiful. I'm starting to think that I shouldn't be trusting what the comments say, because I've had a few times now where the comments have been either really, really inaccurate or really misleading. Oh, this snow is really hard because it's been sheltered by this huge granite rock from the sun. So it's really, really hard. Hence why it's not melted. Whoop, that's very soft there. Oh. Be glad to get off this white stuff. I've seen enough of it the last few days. This is what it was like in 2019, just all the time. In the short space of time we're in the Sierras, and then all the time pretty much we're in Washington as well. Just constant route finding, wet feet, trail hidden. Wow. If that's not a photo opportunity, I don't know what is. Look at that. That is stunning. Well, I've entered another lake area now. This one, I think I've read a few comments that said if you like lake mountain view reflections, this one's for you. So this could be a likely contender if I can find a decent spot to camp. To start with though, I've got to get across this. Doesn't look too bad. There's going to be some damp feet definitely, but at least there's some stones there. Well, this is Evolution Lake, and I think I can see my tent spot. Alright guys, I'm gambling again. I haven't learnt from yesterday's debacle with the tent sites. This is the lower part of Evolution Lake. Now you can see where all these trees are at the head of the lake. There is a tent site, a 5 tent site marked on the map there. And I've been reading the comments, which I know I said I wouldn't do, but a lot of them, not just one, a lot of them have mentioned hidden tent sites if you climb up the granite slabs into the trees. And there's even one that's near a cascade apparently. So I am going to have a little explore. The only downside is that it sounds as though a lot of the sites are on hard rock standing, and I don't have a freestanding tent, so there could either be some cowboy camping tonight or some very large rock anchors for my tent. But I guess we have to get there first and then see what we can find. And this is looking a bit tricky. Thought we were done with the snow. Not that bad in the end. Whew, wow. What a vista. What an absolutely stunning vista. I made it to the tent site that I spoke about, and then I climbed up the granite boulders that the tent site comments mentioned, and this is what I found. I've got a bit of a dilemma, because whilst that is a stunning view, there's no water up here, Now, it's not a big deal to walk down again, get some water from a stream or the lake and come back up. But on the other hand, at this side, we have these mountains. Oh, I should say as well, that is also the spot I've got earmarked because you can get stakes into the ground there. The rest of it is all hard standing, but that seems to be quite soft and seems to be able to take stakes. But yes, my dilemma is this view at this side, which is equally as beautiful, looking down this valley. And I can just imagine that tonight with some stars out and me sat looking down at that. Also, if we just look down here, we've got this beautiful big flowing cascade, a fresh water source, and there is a tent site that I can see right next to it. I think probably what I'll do is just go down to that tent site and check it out. There's another one down there as well, but the one I'm looking at straight in front of me looks about the best contender. I'll go down, check it out, see what the views are like, and then make a decision. But what a decision to have to make, eh? It's just breathtaking whichever way you look, basically. Well, decision made, I think. There's actually a path that leads to that cascade, and there's quite a few tent sites down there, and they're all very close together. Whereas up here, there are a few tent sites, they're not really all that close together. I mean, there's one here where I'm standing now, but it's not like there's going to be tons and tons of people up here, hopefully. So I am going to try and put my tent up here and see what happens. I can always, it's only a short walk down to that cascade, I can easily go down there to get water and whatnot, so that's not an issue. Well, that's the view I've got from one side of my tent. Lots of smelly socks and shoes, out drying, a beautiful canyon in the background as well. And then the other side of the tent, I've got that view. So it's about 20 past 11 and I've set up camp for the day. I've got to admit, I've just had like 10 or 15 minutes just laid in the tent, and it was just beautiful just to be away from the mosquitoes, because there's a lot of them around here, and just laid in the tent doing nothing. I've got my stuff laid out to dry, I've got the water that I need, went down to the creek, down to the cascade and got like 4 litres of water. So yeah, I'm about mile 8:45. I've just looked, and Muir Trail Ranch, which will be my destination for tomorrow, I think, is only about 13 miles away, and there is 417 feet of ascent, but 3,500 feet of descent. So tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day for walking. I don't have to worry about getting up early and worrying about snow or anything like that. It's just hopefully going to be a nice, simple walk down to Muir Trail Ranch. In the meantime, I'm going to have something else to drink. I don't think I've been drinking enough the last sort of 24, 48 hours. I've got another electrolyte just waiting to be supped. And then I think it's lunchtime, and I've got like so much stuff to choose from. So I can eat pretty much whatever I want out of the bear can for the next 24 hours and know that I've got literally a bucket load of food waiting for me at Muir Trail Ranch. I'm really hoping for some beautiful sunset colours tonight and some really, really nice star pictures. So maybe I should get some sleep this afternoon, if I'm going to be up most of the night taking pictures. See you a bit later, guys. Well, well, well. It is just after 3:30 p.m. and this was possibly the best idea I've had for years. I can't believe that there's still nobody else here. I've just been down at the cascade. Maybe you've seen the footage. That was just beautiful. I walked like partway down it, down the slick rock, as far as I dare go. It does just go off the mountainside, basically. But I'm hoping the footage has come out quite good. I got a couple of motion lapses. And it was just nice, the second one, I was sat behind the camera and the spray was actually just kind of like coming over and hitting me. And it was beautiful, really, really beautiful. I think in the last 6 years, I've camped in a lot of different places. And I've had some pretty epic campsites, especially in France and Spain, on the GR10 and the GR11. This one is really going to take some beating. It's just pretty much everything you could ask for in a campsite. It is spectacular. It really is. I want it to be night already so I can get the camera out. It sounds absolutely stupid. The only thing that's missing that I would really, really like, if I'm being really, really pedantic, is some clouds, because clouds make time lapses look absolutely fantastic. I could take a time lapse of this behind me, I could take a time lapse of this in front of me now, and it would look absolutely rubbish because there would be no movement at all. There's nothing going on, it's just mountains. If there was clouds moving across the sky, it'd look fantastic. But yeah, this is probably as close to the perfect campsite as I have ever been. There was one on the GR10 that comes very, very close. In fact, if you look at my Instagram profile, it's the very first picture. It's the one that's pinned when I'm stood near the tent looking out across the lake. That was an absolutely sublime campsite. This, I think the scenery is more spectacular in every direction. Yeah, epic. So it's 6:20 and there's still nobody else arrived at the campsite. I'm thinking because it's only like 8 miles or so from Muir Pass, and you need to do Muir Pass early on a morning, I think most people are basically just bypassing this. That there's not many people doing Muir Pass like in the afternoon or that time of day. So it's possible someone might still turn up, but yeah, at the moment, no one around. The sun is dropping in the sky and it's going to be setting over the valley view, which means that it's going to be rising over the alpine view at the other side. So I really want to make sure that I'm up for sunrise tomorrow morning because I think it could be pretty nice. I've been visited by a very loud marmot. They've got this, if you've not heard them before, they've got a really high-pitched squeak. Like, I'm not going to do it. It's just like a really high-pitched squeak. I don't know if it's like a warning call or what, but it wasn't too far away. And they stand up sometimes on the hind legs as well, like meerkats do, and they just look hilarious. But I am going to go and get some more water from the creek or from the cascade, and that should see me through the night. And then it's probably going to be getting to the time where I need to start thinking about some food, although I'm not massively hungry because I stuffed myself at lunchtime. But I do need to eat something, so we'll be doing that after I've been down to the cascade.